Once in a time before the stars lit up the night, the world was wrapped in a deep, endless dark. The sky was empty. A great black blanket stretched over the land. No moon, no stars, no silver light to guide the dreams of those who slept below. It was in this time that a girl named Elara lived in a quiet village at the edge of a whispering forest. Elara was different from the other children. While they played games and ran through the fields, she would lie on her back in the tall grass, staring up at the empty sky. She often wondered what it would be like if the darkness were broken, not by the bright, sharp light of the sun, but by something softer, something gentle that could watch over the world while it slept. One night, as Elara lay in her bed, the silence pressed close around her. She closed her eyes and let her mind wander. And as she drifted between waking and dreaming, she imagined tiny points of light, far away, twinkling like distant fires. She saw them floating in the dark, shimmering like silver dust sprinkled across the sky. The more she dreamed, the brighter they became, until the darkness was no longer empty, but alive with their glow. When she opened her eyes the next morning, she thought it had only been a dream. But that night, as the village settled into sleep, whispers began to spread. People stepped outside their homes, pointing up at the sky. For the first time in memory, the darkness was not complete. Tiny, soft lights flickered above them, scattered like scattered pearls across the heavens. At first, no one knew where they had come from, but Elara knew. She had dreamed them into being. The stars were her gift to the world, born from the quiet longing of her heart. The villagers rejoiced, for now they had light in the darkness, gentle and kind. Travelers could find their way home. Dreamers could whisper their wishes to the sky. And every night, as Elara lay beneath the stars, she felt their warmth, their quiet understanding. They were a part of her just as she was a part of them. But the world was still young, and the stars were still new. Some nights they flickered weakly, as if unsure of their place in the vast dark. Other nights they burned so brightly that the villagers feared they might fade too soon. Elara knew she had to help them, to give them strength. So she began to tell them stories, sweet, soft tales of courage and kindness, of love and hope. She whispered these stories to the sky, and as she spoke, the stars listened. They grew steadier, brighter, as if her words nourished them. Years passed, and Elara grew older, but her bond with the stars never faded. People from distant lands came to her, asking for her wisdom, for her stories. She taught them how to speak to the stars, how to weave tales that would keep the night alive. And so the stars thrived, because they were never alone. They were loved. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the first stars blinked awake, Elara sat beneath her favorite tree, the one with branches that reached toward the sky like open arms. She was tired but happy. She closed her eyes and let the cool night air brush against her face. And as she did, she felt a warmth, not from the earth below, but from the stars above. They pulsed gently, as if calling to her. She smiled. She had given them light, and in return they had given her a home in the heavens. That night, as the village slept, Elara's breathing slowed, her chest rising and falling like the quiet waves of a distant sea. And when the morning came, she was gone. But the stars did not mourn. They burned brighter than ever, for they knew she was not lost. She had become one of them, a light in the darkness, a guide for those who still dreamed beneath the sky. And so even now, if you look up on a clear night, you might see a star that shines just a little softer, just a little kinder than the rest. That is Elara, watching over the world, whispering stories to the dark, keeping the stars alive with her dreams. And if you listen very, very closely, you might even hear her voice, carried on the wind, telling you that the night is not something to fear, but something to cherish, for it is full of light, if only you dare to dream it into being. The end.